All me. It's all me. That's what he says. Ready, go. It's all you. Hold on a moment. Let's retract. Let's like see how much sleep you had and how much sleep I
My
had.
goodness.
I know, but it was really, really worth it. So yes, I got to go to a really cool show last night. It was so fun. If anybody knows Elderbrook, saw him. Yeah, that was my second time seeing him too. So he's great. Anyway, so I'm running on a low battery. So if I'm a little punchy, I'm just explaining that right now. Could be funny. We'll see. Or it could be not funny, and you're going to hopefully save me.
It'll
So,
be funny.
okay, good. I am Jill DeWitt, and this is Stephen Jack Butala, and we are Land Academy. So we're still kind of broadcasting. We're in our closed Zoom environment for you members, and then our team is still opens it up a little bit to the public so they can kind of get a sneak peek about who we are, what's going on, and get some of Jack's industry insight before we dive into our deals. What do we have for announcements today? And I'm sure things are going to get opened up for Q&A. You guys are doing great. So let me go through the slides and I'll talk about stuff here, if that's okay. Am I messing you up?
No.
Oh, I like the present mode. Can I have the present mode? Thank you. That's the only way I know how to do it.
There you go.
Thank you. Okay. So yes. So for you in Zoom members, this is exactly what we're doing. I know we have some new people that joined recently too. So this is kind of how the format goes for our member calls that we do every week at this time. And we have done for going on 10 years now, along with Land Academy, 10 years coming up here, which is really cool. So the Q&A will be for your questions. Gotcha, Joseph. There, I see it. And then Jack will enable them here in just a few minutes, but it's in there. So the Q&A is for, you the questions, the deals you want us to review, that kind of a thing, because we'll go through and check them off, make sure we don't miss anything. And then the chat, just a fun little banter or like a quick little response, like, hey, do I have the right APN? Kind of thing. That's what we use the chat for. So let's see here. This is the format too for members who are submitting deals for us to review. If you can, take a screenshot of this, make note of it so you can, pre-write them ahead of time, have them ready to go. Like I see Joseph did. He does really great with that. Has them in that order. And we need those so we can really accurately give you good feedback on the deals when you're submitting for us to look at. And now we're going to the question of the week. And then in a few minutes, we'll get to current events. Current events by Jack. You like that?
Yeah.
Okay. So the question of the week came from Carla R. And she wrote, I'm terrified of title issues. It seems like there is a high possibility to completely destroy my business. Is this a realistic fear? How do I protect myself from title issues? I got an easy one.
Just get a title company to complete your transaction.
Well, you took my answer. That would be it. Go through an unrelated third party, like a licensed professional escrow and title company, and then bake that cost into. You're like, whoa. Jack and Jill, that costs like it might be $1,200, it might be $1,500 per deal. How do I do that? Well, that's easy. You're buying things for like $20,000 and selling them for $50,000 or $60,000. So I don't care about $1,500. I have that baked in. And I might even take it a step further. This has nothing to do with this, but you want to really make it easy, think about sometimes having a broker, a good one. They could sell stuff for you too, and you bake that in there too. So
the title process is the same as if you buy an office building, a mobile home on its own piece of land, your house, or a piece of land.
Exactly.
And it's not something that you need to really know a ton about.
Right. I do go back. Like one of the nice things though is about being a Land Academy member is remember you have nationwide access to a heck of a lot of data, right? So I go look in there, I go dig in that. If you've not got in the back end of data tree and gotten to the flex search and looked at the sellers, you can find all kinds of information. Maybe you're wondering if there is an easement on the property and you can't get the guy on the phone right now. he's only available from 5 to 7 in the evening, right? And you're doing your due diligence during the day on a property and you're looking at it. You're like, I really want to know. You can go back into your data tree and you can look up and see there might be a recorded easement in there for you. So you already have the answer. And gosh, how smart are you? Kind of thing. Title and escrow will smoke that out.
Yeah.
Usually, when you're going through it. But when I'm doing my due diligence ahead of time, right? I want to know, do I have legal and physical access? Kind of thing as I'm checking that off. So
Title is, you know, there's a lot of people out there that'll scare you with this concept of title. All it is just verifying that the people who have owned the property before you have established a correct way to transfer property in the chain of title. Each link in the chain is a separate change of ownership. It's not that complicated.
exactly.
Death complicates it a lot,
True.
but there's, I wish they could visualize it. Like, you know, there's the reason there, it's insurance, so they make it complicated. But I wish they could just put a visual to it. Chains, everybody's name.
Yeah.
You're
Usually they go
you're
back.
the most recent owner.
What's funny is here's the thing too, just so you know, tip. Here's a good tip for the planet. Most title companies ask them, but common the common time span is 30 years. It's not since the beginning of time, like since the place was, homesteaded, subdivided, whatever. They don't, some do. Oklahoma is one. That's why it takes so long and it costs more, right? They do go all the way. But most states and it's like a 30-year thing.
Yeah.
So it's really nice when so this is my tip. So you're looking in Parcel Fact, wherever you're looking at the property, doing your due diligence, and you can see this person has owned the property for 40 years. You're like, well, there you go. That's great. And I'm talking to them and they're both alive. This is great. There you go. Yeah. Oh gosh.
Everyone's got title stories in here right now.
The seller passed away 2 days before closing. Oh,
I've
did they sign
stories
before?
like that.
Were the documents signed? Like, gosh. Okay. Oh, that's good. They paid out. Yeah, that's what title insurance is for. They missed a lien.
A loan.
Oh yeah. Oh, a loan. That's wow.
A lien loan.
Yeah. There you go. That's cool. Oh, darn. Sorry, Joseph.
This is a real concern if you're not getting title insurance.
Yes.
If you're just buying a piece of property out in the desert for $500 and selling it for $1,500.
Yes.
But then your whole exposure is only the value that you spent.
True.
So you're not going to inherit, in general, this is not a pure and you're not going to inherit more problems unless there's EPA issues, environmental problems. You're not going to inherit stuff that you can't undo.
Yeah. Are they perfect? Hell no. Like, Tara's putting in, I had one where they missed deed restrictions. I had one where when I bought it, kind of not as bad as Matt's $26,000 thing, but one where they missed something. It must have been, I don't think it was a lien even. I think that they only checked the taxes for the last year. They didn't check the 2 and 3 years earlier that the person didn't pay. And so I bought it with title insurance. And then when I was selling it with title insurance, they caught it on that time. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. So thank goodness the second guy's caught it.
This should not stop you from doing this.
Oh yeah.
Like this is one of those things where we all have a deal or 2 or 3 maybe of stuff that went wrong. Did it in the end cost us any money? Not really. Maybe a small amount. But the other 15,900 deals that we've done were
made up for it.
Trouble free.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't like this topic. And I wouldn't have put this question in here if I was the producer.
Don't look at me. It was not me. But it's important. People worry about it. The main thing is, I think the point here is, this is why you go through title companies and not doing it myself. Then I'm really diligent, and that is a little scary. That's true.
The more deals you do, the more money you're going to make, and the more you're going to do away with these one-off potential in your head problems, because that's all in the end. The question here is this a realistic fear? It's a valid fear, but no, it's not. The chances of something happening are very small, and they usually solve themselves.
Yeah.
Jill's at a point now where she looks up, when we do a deal, she'll look everything up. Takes you minutes.
Minutes.
You have the same access to everything that we do. So Data Tree has all the documents that are associated. And if you go through their education, you'll learn how to look up liens and all of that. Well, everything that's associated with the problem. If this is your thing.
They did an advanced training for us too. So if you
Yeah.
haven't, if you had an attendant that did not attend that, don't forget as a member that's recorded, go back to the advanced training modules on the dashboard. And that was like 3 months ago, 4 months ago, I want to say, but they did a training on their Flex Search to really help you with that too. It was taught by a Data Tree person, which was really cool. They came for us and did that. I guess you spend enough money, you get that. Which we do. All right. Going on. So next week, same, Monday through Friday. I don't know when like I'm ever going to say anything different. Podcast Monday through Friday, like a duh. That's never going to change. We have our group coaching session on April 16th. Cool. For people doing the one-on-one coaching. They have every other week, it's one-on-one coaching or group session. We go back and forth on that, which is really cool. And of course, our member call. I have I have an update on that. I'm glad we're seeing this right now. Next Thursday is the Thursday before Good Friday. Am I right, everyone? Friday, the 18th, I believe, is Good Friday. I'm checking my calendar.
I just sit here when they tell me to.
Okay. So we had pre-planned to not be here next Thursday. I'm looking for my team.
It's just it's a lot. It's awesome. Great work, everybody.
Wow. So yeah. Okay. So next Thursday, we will not be having it because it's the day before Good Friday. We have family in town. So we're all going to get that next week off. All right, cool. And I don't know yet how it's going. So we just released earlier this month a brand new product where my transaction coordinator team is your transaction coordinator team. What does that mean? That means this. Okay, Mr. Jones, great. Here's what's going to happen. My assistant's going to call you and she's going to open escrow and get this all going and blah, 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 whatever. And you'll expect a call, in the next 24 hours, next 24, 48 hours. When's the best time, best number, whatever that is. Click. And then you call, hi, Land Academy transaction coordinator team. Hi, this is Jill. I have one ready to go. Nope, I don't have a title company that I love in that state. Don't know anybody in that state, but here's the seller information. Here's the terms. Let me know when you, let me know what you need. Click. That's what it is. And they will open escrow and babysit the deal for you. They work for you. So we just did it. We just released it to the Career Path alumni, the first wave. So now it shows to my team. We're going to have slots open. So it's going to be open a week from tomorrow. Watch your email, Land Academy only members, because you will get your invitation to do that. So yeah. Real-time updates. That's right.
Let's look at the
Now to
multiple
Jack.
listing service and what happened last week, if anything. As you know, we look at this every week. We're looking for trends. Median listing prices are effectively zero. Surprising to me. New listings,
It's amazing to me.
about 8%, 8% for the year, and then week over week against last year. These are the numbers. We had a huge uptick here. I don't know why.
Look at that.
Went back to 8.
What an interesting jump
Active listings still at about 30%.
over last year.
Yeah.
It's still a good jump.
There's a
Big
huge
jump.
amount of real estate for sale. Jill and I are doing a ton of SFR deals. We have our pipeline is almost as full as we would like it. And it's been very effective. There's a lot of people that are, because it's such a buyer's market, a lot of people are choosing to respond to our letters more than they have in the past, let's say 2 or 3 years, because the cycle is different. Because we're coming into a real estate recession. This will last, my prediction is about till 26. Late 26 probably, and then we'll go back into recovery. It's really overbuilt right now. I'm not sure we're in recession yet. We're somewhere between a hypersupply and recession, probably here already, based on the response that we're getting.
Yeah.
We're getting people calling us back from mailers that we sent 6 months ago with real deals. Like, let's really seriously talk about it. I mean, why would you, what's a typical conversation? And why are they, what's really happening? Like, what's, there's something, there's an immediacy now to these people wanting to sell their property.
I think it's, well, I think it's a couple things. I think from what I'm experiencing, it's, it's post-COVID related kind of thing. And they're not going to do what they thought they were going to do.
Yeah.
And they're loving getting the letters because they're seeing so much inventory out there. The thought of not having to be one more person on the market is really appealing, as it would for me too.
Me too.
Like, do I want to be one of 100 right now? No. And this person sent me a letter. I need to and roll the dice that I have a good agent and they do a good job or whatever it is that, or I need the dough. More importantly, it's all those things plus I need the dough.
Yep. They're starting to warm up to a very realistic selling price.
Yeah.
In general.
And I almost feel like right now we're getting to a cycle where it's people that might not have considered selling this way are considering selling this way. And I love it. Well, then there's probably one reason, Joseph, and you don't want to know why.
I bet you know why.
Yeah, I bet you know why.
Mortgage rates, I hesitate to pull this up because I don't think that there's nothing permanent about interest rates or mortgage rates right now. They're all over the place. If I were forced to buy a house with a mortgage as a primary residence, I would wait. So look at this. In the last, whatever, this is the last week. We're at almost close to 6.5. We were at 6.5 for sure. Well, almost 6.5, and it's close to 7. This isn't the last 7 days. I think it's just going to go back down. It's just like the stock market. There's a lot of weird stuff going on that the market's not used to. We're still coming off of that COVID mentality of pricing and 3% mortgages back then. It was weird. This isn't something we haven't seen in quite some time. Actually, really, we haven't seen anything like this. I don't remember professionally seeing anything like this. It's some strange situation.
We had a LA Pro call today. So these are professional in it for years, full-time people. We were all kind of chatting about it, and we all kind of have the general consensus that, some people still have the COVID prices in their head. It's going to change. So I was going to say too, if there's properties that you love and the only thing you're not agreeing on right now is price, please notate those in your CRM with some special thing. I love it, except for the price. That was the only thing. And if you're in Land Academy in our CRM, there's a thing in there. Why was the deal canceled? Price. So you might go circle back to those in about 6 months.
Correct.
Because they're going to be all excited and be loving, like, thank you for calling. I thought I lost your number. I think that's going to happen.
This is whatever this is, I believe it's wildly temporary. Now that you guys are mentioning treasuries, I'm sure it's tied to that.
Yeah.
That's it.
Do you have no other special events or notes or anything for us? Okay.
Nope.
All right. Well, on that note, thank you for not Land Academy members. We're going to close it up now for you guys. So anyone just joining us on some other area or some other way, Facebook or YouTube or something, thank you for joining us for a little bit. We're going to close her up now.